Well, it's not like they had any. They had like 3 records. They had this, "Do That to Me One More Time," which is a great record, and possibly one of the worst songs ever written for anyone.
Don't diss Muskrat Love.
Dude, rodents getting jiggy with it is the last thing. And Muskrat Love is true. That and Starships Built This City on Rock and Roll. Worst songs ever recorded by anybody. But I don't blame her today, and I wish her a happy birthday, Tony Tennille. She is 84. So, hey, speaking of traveling, man, back in Florida, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah, got back last night. Great visit to the upstate of South Carolina. You know, what an adventure this has been, you know, and kind of being welcomed back home to a place that I love. That's a place that's near and dear to my heart. I'll probably retire there, truth to tell.
Yeah.
I love it. It's where I met Denise. But it was a lot of fun, and now kind of back into the grind again.
And you have said that it was your return was a big deal, obviously, because you've been remembered fondly for decades and decades and decades. So there on the big WYFF, let me shut up the Captain Tennille here, a big old Channel 4.
Yeah, an NBC affiliate. I mean,
can I do a couple of seconds of this?
Oh, you want to? Well, let me give you the lead into this, because Jane Robelo was a big-time CBS star. Jane was an anchor in Philadelphia. She's from South Carolina. She's a local girl. And she went on to great success in Atlanta and Philly. And then she wound up at CBS. She was one of the hosts on the CBS morning show, I think, for a few years. And then she decided, and I think she had some health things, but she wound up going back to the upstate and raising her kid, or her wonderful husband, Mario. And so she is a big-time network superstar, you know, working locally again in Greenville, South Carolina. And she really does it, I think, because she just loves the business and she loves the community. And I've known her for years. She was one of the broadcasters on the Tiger Tailgate Show. She is one of the most special people in the world. She is a faith-filled, just a rock-solid, beautiful woman, and inside and out. I mean, she's a beautiful woman, and she really did a great job with covering the return of the prodigal son, Mike Gallagher,
exactly
and his buddy,
right. The
Joey
mayor
Hudson.
could have resigned, council could have, declared, could have seceded from the state. But
I'm no Mark Davis, but I'm a pretty big deal in Spartanburg.
As revealed. Here we go.
Well, a well-known personality is back on local radio. Mike Gallagher's nationally syndicated news talk show has returned to the morning lineup on 98.9 Word.
I think that's what Tony right here in the upstate thinks as well. Hey, Tony, great to...
And you have radio station B-roll. They showed the little clock on the board. They showed the towers outside the building. Anytime TV comes to radio, they like to show you the various trappings, which is really, really good. And here you are talking to a guy, and then I have a question about when TV cameras are in there with you.
Home again. Welcome to the Mike Gallagher Show. How are you?
The mic is hot as fans in the upstate and western North Carolina can once again tune in to the Mike Gallagher Show.
I'm just saying.
He's right back at the very station where he started his talk radio career 35 years ago.
This is home for me, and I am blessed to have a few hundred stations that carry my show around the country, but this is where I cut my teeth in talk radio. This is where I met and married my wife. This is where we raised our kids.
Absolutely fantastic.
Nice.
If you don't post that, I will. And I just want people to
well,
see
we have
that
it on
and the love shown to you. Tell people where they can go see it.
Oh, yeah. Well, our YouTube channel, the Mike Gallagher Show YouTube channel, I think the team is posting it at MikeOnline.com. Of course, there's also a part of the story where Joey Hudson is back as well, who's our frequent guest host here on the Mike Gallagher Show, and my dear, dear friend, and he's Greenville's native son. And I just want to, again, thank WYFF and really all the media. Fox Carolina, the CBS affiliate did some stuff. The local papers. I mean, it was a kind of a cool story because it is an intriguing thing.
Of course it is, and people care about you, and that's the cool. This is why everybody, not to spend the whole segment pulling curtains back because we got stuff to talk about, but people ask you, and they ask me all the time, future of radio, future of talk radio. Aren't you all going to go to the ways of the dinosaur? There's huge flux and change in radio, no doubt about it. I don't know anybody except for that goes to radio to listen to disc jockeys play music anymore. That is gone, at least in most people's lives, except for really specific formats like Down the Hall at KLTY. They'll be there forever. But so will we. Content. And but what about podcasts? Podcasts are great. I love podcasts. No podcast can talk with you and take calls about things that are happening right now in real time. we're going to be fine. And it's the most personal relationship ever. You can't have this kind of relationship with a newspaper or a website or a TV newscast or a podcast. It is the most direct, personal, ride with you in the car relationship in all of media. And so that's why you're a big deal there and everywhere else too.
Well, you channeled what the general manager and the market manager there, Steve Senecrapi, was saying this week, and he was interviewed by some of the media as well, and he said exactly what you said. There's no podcast that can capture live breaking news, what to make of it all, opinions being shared. Frankly, there's no TV newscast that can do that either. I mean, that's why, and this is a powerhouse station. I mean, just like, it's like, hey, not unlike 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, this is where people go to when stuff is happening, when the world is on fire, when Stormy Daniels is on the witness stand.
Which is, last thing before we get to actual stories, because we've all done it for years and years and years, does the show change? Does a smidge of your brain get occupied when TV cameras are in the room filming you?
Well, literally, as that report goes on, I make a comment on air, excuse me, about what a good multitasker I am. I'm doing segments on the show, and then on every commercial break, Jane is interviewing me. So I would go back and forth. I had the lavalier mic on. I'm thinking, all right, where am I now? Oh, I got to do the show. Okay, let's talk about Stormy Daniels, blah, 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 blah. And then, all right, more of the Mike Gallagher show coming up. Mike, tell me about where you started. It was hysterical, and we did that for like a half hour. So it was a little ping pong ball stuff, but we got it all in, and it really was a splendid report. And again, I adore her. I just adore Jane, and I'm just and I'm going back a lot. Get ready. I'll be back every few weeks. They're building out a studio for me at the radio station and working out the car deal so I can have some wheels to drive around in and maybe a hotel to stay in when I'm there. So it's going to be kind of a fun little adventure, Mark. So
I'm proud of you for being on it.
All right.
So today, what do we do today? Because yesterday I did Gorky yesterday, and it was Stormy Daniels Day. Wherever you want to start.
Stormy Daniels Day, and it was a great day for Trump in the courtroom and a couple of courtrooms actually. Mm-hmm. I mean, this case with Stormy, this is all falling apart. Even CNN, they're saying, wait a minute. She clearly has a vendetta against him.
Of course she does.
And one of the legal analysts at CNN said, that's never good. When the prosecutor's trying to make a case using her as the star witness, and she's doing everything but, throw darts at a picture of him in her bedroom. Now, but here's the thing I want to start with. I'm on the plane flying back yesterday, and Delta, God bless them, I think all the airlines now are pretty good about showing you live TV. And I love Delta's DirecTV partnership because you can see, and I'm watching Brett Baer on Fox News last evening. John Fetterman is becoming my rock star hero. And
That's
Mark, I don't like
Democrat.
it. I don't like it. He is my favorite Democrat. Mark, I'm watching this. I'm thinking, well, yeah, man, that makes sense. Now, this is John Fetterman we're talking about. This poor guy could not hold a sentence together a while ago. He is now smart. He's thoughtful. He clearly, at the best you could say is he's definitely a moderate Democrat. He is not part of this far left crazy squad. He's correct on fracking. He's correct on Israel. He's correct on illegal immigration.
Yep.
Mark, this is John Fetterman, Democrat. So it gives me hope because, and I'm sure they're going crazy over this guy. They hate what he's doing.
Of course they do. And I can't have a mention of him, but we should almost say it together. John Fetterman is a guy who went to an actual mental hospital and came out less liberal. Boom. So, but yes, you bet. He's good.
Another chapter from
Congratulations,
Michael Savage's book. My liberalism is a mental disorder. I mean, maybe there's a cure. Maybe you just got to go to a good facility.
If we send a bunch of other to some psych ward, maybe they'll come out and turn into Bill Maher. I don't know.
But doesn't it feel like that? I mean, we're into psych ward territory. We're watching them do things and commit acts. I mean, how'd you like to spend? We talked a little bit about this yesterday. You spent $80, $90, $100,000 to send your kid to college. Yeah. They have a right to walk across that graduation stage.
Sure do.
They have a right. I'm at UT Arlington for my kid's graduation. He gets his master's degree, and I'm proud of him, and I helped that. And to have that ripped from him and me because of a bunch of pro-Hamas punks?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? The world's on fire. And meanwhile, here's Trump with great news, and are they mad at Judge Aileen Cannon. Oh,
this is the Florida
boy.
case. Florida case.
This is a document. She said, but you know why? Because
first of all, tell everybody what happened in the Florida case yesterday.
Well, she indefinitely postponed it. I mean, it was supposed to start this month, and she gave an indefinite stay, and they're flipping their mind. They're losing their lids. They're going out of their minds. And of course, Trump appointed a judge. Guess what? Elections have consequences. This is how it works, gang. But Jack Smith is not having a very good day, Mark. And here's what's remarkable about it. The reason why she's delaying it, because all kinds of evidence has been compromised, tampered with. Yes. And they're not talking much about that, but that's the reason. It's not just because she's trying to help Trump.
Right, because the nature of these, because the evidence in this particular case is actual documents. The whole case is about actual documents and how he handled or mishandled them, as the case may be. And there's enormous attention being paid to, did they seem jostled? Did they seem like they had been disturbed in any way? And when the evidence itself is this delicate, and when it is mishandled in the hands of the prosecuting authorities, it's like, well, how in the world are we to assess what status of the documents were back when the offenses were supposedly committed? It's wreckage. It's
wreckage. The whole thing's falling apart. But see, again, it was never the merits of any of these cases that mattered. No. They wanted to damage him before November 5th. They know this whole Stormy crap is going to get thrown out on if there's a conviction because of New York juries. There's going to be jurists. There's going to be it's going to be overturned. None of it holds. But they didn't care. No. They were willing to compromise and sacrifice their entire judicial integrity just to try to hurt Trump. It ain't working. It ain't. Jon Stewart. Did you see Jon Stewart this week?
I did. I did.
Said, quote, Joe Biden is not fit to be president. Well, Mark, I hate to break it to you. It's a binary choice. Is Jon Stewart telling us Trump's the guy? Is that what he's saying?
No, I think this is a desperate cry for the Democrats to do something, anything, to offer up a different nominee.
Well, it's what I keep saying. The eve of the convention, I'm convinced it's going to be somebody else.
And that has gained some traction this past week, but I've got more homework to do. I don't think that's how it works. The whole notion of, Biden picks a key moment of timing, a couple of days before the conventioneers show up in Chicago and start preparing for the rioting outside. And at that point, Biden goes on TV and says, okay, I got health issues, I got stuff, I can't do this. I throw it to the delegates. He didn't have the ability to throw this to the delegates. No. It gets thrown to the upper muckety mucks of the DNC, just as it would be thrown to our muckety mucks if we lost our nominee 2 days before the convention. So it's so uncertain about, but you all you know is it ain't going to be Biden. You're sticking with that, right?
Well, not only that, but all I know is there's never been a guy like Donald Trump on the national stage. Today he posted on Truth Social, and I will have to paraphrase because he used a dirty word.
Oh, no.
He said, I spotted ratings challenged Lawrence O'Donnell of MSDNC in the courthouse today. I haven't seen him in years. He looks like crap, a real loser. DJT. Now, he didn't say crap.
No.
He said the S word. He looks like S. Have you ever seen a guy never has America ever experienced something like this?
He's a man of the people.
He's a beast. He's a beast. I think he's going to be the 47th president of the United States.
I like our chances.
I like our chances. Happy Wednesday,
my friend. Happy Wednesday. Mike in Florida for a couple of days until his next traveling man excursion. We are glad to have him right here on this show and right here on our station.